Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. And today, guess what? We're doing that with none other than Keyon Monté. How are you, Keyon?
How are you? Nice to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And I can tell we're going to have a great time already, right?
Yes.
I have thoroughly enjoyed just getting to know you and the backdrop, and getting a chance to just hear some of your story. I had the opportunity to meet your mom and her husband at an event that was about Black women, business entrepreneurs, not just women, but men entrepreneurs, masterminds is what they really are. And so I had the pleasure of meeting them. And that's where I think I had the opportunity to meet you too, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So that was in Kansas City. I was in, where was I? Tell me where I was, because I travel so much. Where was I?
I don't know if it might have been Kansas City, Kansas. I'm not
Kansas
quite
City,
sure.
Kansas. That's where I was. Yeah. I was like, okay, you know what? You know, you travel too much when you're like, where was I? I was in Kansas City, Kansas, and had the opportunity with Dr. Danetta Watson, who I came in to speak about how important it was for us to be able to be everything that God created us to be as entrepreneurs. So anyway, I'm really glad that you're here today. Now, do you live in Kansas City, Kansas?
Yeah, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. There's this thing about Kansas City, Kansas versus Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
They're sister cities, but people from Missouri always say that we're the better side. And and I can't disagree. You know what I mean? I can't disagree with that.
You can't disagree, okay? So clearly he's biased to Kansas City, Missouri versus Kansas City, Kansas. But I had the pleasure, especially Michael Freeland. I don't know if you know him, but he's the author of Mental Real Estate, talking about us being free in our minds and things. I had the opportunity to connect with him, and he's a friend of one of my friends, Dr. Lotus Roche. So it was just a really great uplifting experience to be there in Kansas City, Kansas. Yeah.
So well, you have many connects here in Kansas City.
I know. I don't think I would ever live there, but I definitely enjoyed coming and enjoying myself and my experience. There was really a very edifying experience. So listen, everybody, today, let's focus on who we are talking about today. We are talking about Keyon Monté, and he is an artist in every right. A lot of times people want to know if a person can write well and they're also artistic. How does this whole thing gel together? You're going to learn that from Keontae today. All right. So I want to take a moment to just introduce you. He is a Kansas City native whose work has found homes in many parts of the world. So you're going to hear about different parts of the world that you may have been seeing Keyon Monté's work. His upbringing exposed him to many of the arts that have become the foundation to which helps him feed his faith and his creative thought. I won't even tell you, it's a big piece of his bio that pertains to somebody that was very important in helping to shape who he really is today. And I'm going to let him talk about that. But he has two. Yeah. Oh man, I can't say your whole bio because these are parts of your backstory. Well, anyway, he earned a BA in costume design. I'll talk about that. He earned a BA in costume design from the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, where he sharpened his eye for detail. And at that point, I'm just going to stop with the bio stuff because all of this is going to be heard throughout his story. Welcome, Keyon Monté, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're going to jump right in, Keyon. And I want to just talk even about your upbringing because a lot of your bio goes into details about that. But talk to us. You were filled with artistic influence. How did your grandfather and grandmothers shape your creative path?
So I grew up around, one of the coolest things is that I had so many grandmothers growing up. I had around 5 grandmothers. It's true. And each of them were very impactful in my life in different ways.
Okay.
I had a grandmother who, so one grandmother was integral in exposing me to a lot of different things, right? A
Mm.
reason why I love to travel is because of my grandmother Rhonda. When I was a kid, she would take me to California, to New Jersey, New York, Florida, all of these places,
Mm-hmm.
and she would also introduce me to things like Cirque du Soleil, right?
Right.
Which I was showing, like, that I was in, what was I? It's like elementary school, and we had show and tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I came with show and tell with? I
What?
came with
What?
show and tell with a VHS of a Cirque du Soleil show, and I was like, let's watch this. And I was in elementary school,
They were like,
and
wait,
so
wait, this is a lot.
yes, yes. Why are they wearing? Like, they're like, why are they wearing tights? Like, what's
Right.
going on? I'm like, it's art. You don't understand. And I'm in elementary school,
They're about to
so
send you to the principal office just because they're like, wait a
yes,
minute, what
I
are they
know, right?
exposing him to at home?
Exactly. Oh yeah, because it was provocative, and it was, so she introduced me to those things in Disney and things like that. And
Right.
my other grandmother on my mother's side, she's a poet, and she's an actress, and so she introduced me to a lot of those things, and old black Hollywood. So she had lots of things in
Mm.
her home, like Cabin in the Sky, and
Mm.
Green Pastures. And so those are the things that I kind of grew up around. My
Right.
grandfather, who was in the center of both of these experiences, he was what I like to call a jack of all trades.
Okay.
And he was also a master of many too, because he was not only the president of the Black Economic Union here in Kansas City, he also helped get 18th and Vine, the historic Black neighborhood, up and running again.
Yeah.
It was a huge thing in the 1920s, and then got dilapidated over time. He
Mhm.
helped bring it back, him and his team. He was an art teacher, an artist. He was a cartoonist. He was a writer as well. And so there were so many things, and a business owner, entrepreneur. So there were so many things that he did that I could look up to. I went into a house, I kind of grew up in his house where there was Black art, there was huge posters of Alvin Ailey, there were, things that I could always like delve into, get into, and
Yes.
it was always encouraged. So
That's
that
good.
is kind of how my grandparents instilled in me these things. And my mother and my father and my stepfather, they were not necessarily artistic in all of the ways that I'm talking about now,
Right.
but they were incredibly supportive. I mean, more than I could have ever even asked for throughout the time of me growing up. I mean, yeah, very, very supportive.
That's good. So growing up with you having all of these people pouring into you, and it
Mhm.
sounds like no one really tried to stifle, because it's
Mm-mm.
sometimes when you're younger, it's easy for family members to be like, oh, you know what, we're not going to explore this side of you, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But for
Right.
them to encourage it and actually allow you to take it to school and let that
Yes.
be a part of your show and tell. What grade did you get? Do you remember? Did you get a good grade?
Oh, I don't even remember.
I was
I
wondering, were people happy about it? Because if it was damaging, you probably would be sharing that now. So whoever the teachers were clearly supportive in that regard.
I think so. I think the only thing I can really remember about that moment was just being so invested in trying to share it with them, and they were kind of like, "What's going on here?" But all through my life, and I'm not very good at school. I've never been really good. I've never been very studious
Hmm.
in the ways that you would think,
Right.
would be great at school. And so the greatest grades that I've ever gotten were art grades. Those are the things I've always gotten A's in. But there we
I'm
go.
glad you said that, because I have 5 children and they're all so diverse and
Yeah.
very different with their interests. Like one likes fishing, another one likes
Oh,
animation and drawing on her YouTube channel. And now she's doing these projects where people get to apply for different roles to put one piece of art into the piece of the
interesting.
13 part series. So I think
Yes.
it's so important. So she's in an art school and she's in an art
Yes.
honor society. And the thing is, I have not one artistic bone in my body when I can draw like
Hmm.
a Pictionary stick figure type of thing. But I think it's important for people to explore, allow children to explore what they're really, truly passionate about. So I guess my question right now to you would be, what was that moment that you realized that art and storytelling were really your true calling?
So here's what happened. Are you ready for this?
I am so ready.
This is what happened. My grandfather was living with us at the time, and the house he was cooking something, and the house kind of caught on fire, right? We were in an apartment.
Okay.
And we were it's a very dramatic story, but here's the thing. I wasn't actually in Kansas City at the time. Me and Rhonda, the other grandmother, we were, I think, taking a vacation. So when we came back, right, I came back to a hotel. So the whole family, me, my mother, my grandfather, we were all living in a hotel. And so it was a Holiday Inn, I think. And so that's how she kind of dropped me off at this hotel. And from there, the insurance company put us in one hotel, another hotel, another hotel, another hotel.
Right.
And we ended up, actually, the last hotel we stayed at was the Marriott on the Plaza. And that was fabulous because, I'm in middle school, there's a pool, there's whatever. And it was a bigger suite, so much more space. My grandfather said, well, you know what? It's summertime. And instead of you, just sitting in all day, I'm going to take you to the library. He took me to the library, and it's one thing that I've always wanted to change about myself is that I'm not the best reader. I'm not as big of a reader as I'd like to be. So instead of getting really into the chapter books that were there, I ended up ordering all of the CDs, and the CDs that I would order would be Broadway soundtracks.
Okay.
Right? Original cast albums. And I got hooked on Wicked first. I got hooked on everything Stephen Sondheim. And you can go to the library and just get 5 at a time. Just order it 5 at a time.
Right.
And that's what I would do. And so for a year or so, I was just listening to all of these original Broadway cast albums. And then I would order the revivals. And then that's how I started to pick up that, one actor, I heard this person's voice before. Oh, they're in this musical. Oh, this person wrote this. This happened, this. They're here, do. And when I was a kid, I was really interested in Disney. So the thing that really drew me into the live performance aspect of things was the Disney shows that they would put on Broadway. Beauty and the Beast, which was my favorite movie growing up. Okay. Lion King. And if you ever go to see, and it's still running on Broadway and it tours around, if you ever go to see a production of Lion King, right?
I've seen it in Las Vegas. It is breathtaking. Yes. I mean, you're like on the edge of your seat for me anyway, I was like,
yes.
What's next? All of the costumes and the designs and it's so big. It's like huge.
And if you feel that way now, this is how I felt when I was a kid. And so when I realized that there was a job, a director, a costume designer, that's when I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. And so it was something that kind of took the art side of my life, because I grew up drawing all the time. Okay. And the costuming, the drama that I enjoy, because I love doing Halloween and things like that. And it found a way to kind of merge into one. And so that's what I ended up doing. And around that time, my grandfather said, it was my grandfather, my mother, they were like, well, you were in a Raytown school district, but now that we're moving and things like that, you're going to be in a Kansas City school district. But there is a Kansas City school named Paseo Academy of the Fine and Performing Arts, if that's where you would like to go. That's where I went, and the rest is history.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And the rest is history. When you say the rest is history, you literally went on. Y'all put all of your comments over there. I see a lot of you all commenting. We're going to be pulling them up in a few minutes.
Are there comments?
Wow. There are lots of comments. We're going to pull them all up in a few minutes and show you all of the support that's here for you today. So flood the comment section, everybody. Okay, listen. You studied costume design. How has that background, because now I think I kind of see how it's pulling together and climaxing here. You studied costume design, and that background influenced your work in theater, film, and the visual arts. How did that come together like that for you?
So I originally wanted to be an actor. And when I went to Paseo Academy, What happened was they used to call, are you familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Girl,
You have children, right?
I be saying girl to my friends, but I'm like, boy,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
love Avatar was one of my favorite movies outside of Sparkle, because back in the day I grew up in the projects and the movie Sparkle really hit
yeah.
home, and I was like, oh, anyway, Avatar was so animated and wonderful and
Yes.
again breathtaking. Everything you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yes, when I was in school, they used to call me that because I didn't have just one thing I was doing. You had to choose a major, right? But me, I did choose a major, for the paper. You know what I mean?
Right, of
But
course.
I was everywhere. I was in the art room. They were asking me to do things for them. I was in the theater, room. I was having conversations about jazz, all of these things, and so. I got to do all those things. I wanted to be an actor, but someone had to design the costumes for the play. And so
You know you would
that
be a
was kind
great
of
actor, by the way, just so you know.
it's
Are
actually
you kidding?
it's actually one of the things that I went away from, only because it was the thing that I felt the most insecure about. Honestly, it's true. No, it's true. I enjoy performing, but as far as being on stage learning lines, I never thought I had the what it took to become like a real actor. But
Well,
it might be something I'll try.
wait. We're gonna put a pin in it. Boop, right there.
Yeah,
Everybody that thinks that Keyon Monté would be a great actor, please put your thoughts over there. If you think that he would be a great actor, put some heart emojis, put a 3 in the comments, put something that lets us know, put some running man emojis, put anything to let
I
us
gotta see
know
it. I
that
gotta see it.
we're gonna flood it. Keyon,
No,
you are born to be in Hollywood. Just so you
well,
know,
thank you,
you are born to be in Hollywood.
thank you, thank
So,
you,
so
thank you.
that to me,
One of
Tyler
my
Perry, they're missing out if they don't have Keyon Monté in their dramatic performances. Can you imagine you being in the Oval or whatever these things are that's out here? All of these different movies. Come on. Come on.
well,
This is the most drama that the Kim Jacobs show has had in a long time, y'all. Y'all, we dramatic today. Go.
we are. Well, and then I'll share this with you. One of my biggest sort of like behind the scenes dreams, that one of those dreams that could never happen in a million years type dreams,
Mhm.
is to win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. That was like when I was growing up. It wasn't to win for Best Actor. I didn't care about that. I wanted to like win for the side character. You know what I mean? That would like come in and shake things up, or the one that's in like two scenes that you remember throughout the film, not the lead actor. Anyway, so someone had to design the costumes for the play, and so that's what I did in school. I designed the costumes, I acted in them, and when it came time to go to college, I I I I thought that I couldn't do acting again. So I was like, well, let me try and do costumes instead. And so I got in, I was accepted right on the spot, and that's kind of what I did in school. And unfortunately, even though it's given me like the foundations that I needed in order to grow, the school that I ended up going to was a lot stricter on the major. So,
Mm.
and it was a lot more work, obviously. So I really couldn't find myself in different places like I did in high school. So that was one of the things that kind of stifled um, my artistic growth in other ways.
Mm.
But yeah, yeah. Did that answer your
Wow.
question?
You know what? You are the answer to a lot of questions. That's what I'll say. You are the answer to a lot of things that's missing in Hollywood, in my opinion, or not just
Well, you're
Hollywood,
so
because
encouraging.
Where Tyler Perry stuff is,
Yeah.
around the world, where millennials are able to shine at this level that you're shining. I'm so inspired. And I can tell that so is everyone else. I did want to find, let me see if I could find this. I hope I found one. Let's see. I wanted to pull something up of, you know what we're going to do? We are going to, oh yeah, I found this. Yay. See if I can pull this in, because I'm forever trying to be a sleuth. When I hear somebody talk about something, I'm like, we have to find this, and make it happen. But I am impressed with all of the family support that you have. So when we come back
Yeah.
after this commercial break, we're going to start pulling in some of the photos of Keyon's family members, and then we're also going to get to the art. So you definitely do not want to get up out of your seat. If you do, go to the bathroom real quick, come right back because you don't want to miss a beat. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Keyon, wow, Keyon.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everybody, we are back. I see your spider fingers over there. We are back here with Keyon Monté, and I was during the commercial break just pulling up some of the photos that I want to make sure that you all also have. ewomennetwork.com. Let me put that in the /Charlotte. Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure that you all know exactly where to go to be able to register for some of our events. We have a big event coming up May 7th, which is our summit that is happening for eWomen Network right in the Charlotte area with our founder of eWomen Network. It's been about 25 years officially that she founded this organization for business women, entrepreneurs. Our summit in Charlotte is going to be on May 7th. Right now we have our sponsor, which is our primary sponsor, which is Jean Tillery. But I do want you to know that if you have not gotten your tickets already, the tickets are going quickly. We have people coming in from Florida, Tennessee, Georgia. Get your tickets today if you want to be one of the remaining tickets that's left for the eWomen Network conference. All right. So speaking of family members, I found a couple of pictures that I think are mesmerizing. And you were talking about, you know what, you have the best mom in the world because she sent this to me. I was like, thank you, Mom. Okay. But let's see. Let's go through some of these pictures. Tell us about some of these friends and family of yours.
Yes. This was that picture right there is the very first solo exhibition I've done. I have a friend, Moni, and she is her own entrepreneur in her own right. And she is the person who was like, you know what, Ken, you can do it. Why not just put your own art up instead of waiting on a gallery to do it? And that's the picture that came of that. That was the night that we did it.
Wow, that's interesting because it's so important to have good friends that believe in you and support your dream, because not all friends feel that way. Sometimes people are behind the scenes like, well, I don't really understand why you're even interested in doing that. But in your case, you have very supportive friends.
Could I also say something to add to that?
Yes, say as much as you want.
Not only supportive friends, but friends with utility. So everyone has something that they can do, right?
Right.
I'm someone who believes that people and their talents and their gifts are supposed to be used. Because if you don't use them, then what are we doing, right? Yeah. So I think that having friends that not only support, but get to know what they can do, what thing that makes them happy, what things that they can do that come easiest to them, and utilize those things. So Moni is now working for my LLC as well as my friend, because there are some things that I just can't do.
And is that who's emailing me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, Moni, we thank you because you surely provided plenty of good quality stuff for me to work with. And so she is representing you well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
If it wasn't for her, then the last few months of my life wouldn't have gone the way it's gone. And so I'll be honest with you, there are things, and she gets so frustrated sometimes because she's like, Keyon, I've seen you create masterpieces. I've seen you do this and do that. You can't send an invoice. And I'm like, no, I can't send an invoice. There is something, I just have blockages. And so, paperwork or little minute things, or, getting the dishes washed every day, or just something like that. And there's a blockage to it. So my grandmother, Rhonda, she's always said that find out what your weaknesses are and then learn to compensate for them. That's kind of the person that I go through now. It's not what's great about the relationship is it's not hard for her. She thinks doing an she's like, it just takes 2 seconds. I'm like, well, it would take me 3 hours.
She's operating in her strength. That's why.
Exactly.
And the beautiful thing, I was telling my daughter this the other day, because I have like my bestie is we're complete opposites of each other. But at the end of the day, when we get together and we have our think tank sessions and our brainstorming sessions, the things that she's able to give me are things I just never think of it.
Yes.
So I was like, I just never think of those things until I talk to her. But then there are things that I give her that she's like, oh, Kim, that just made a big difference for me. I was telling my daughter that about one of her besties, that listen, you can be complete opposites in a lot of regards, but you can complement each other and play on each other's strengths. So I saw a few other pictures of some friends, since we're talking about friends. And then
so that's Moni on the, I don't know if it's right or left, depending on how it's set up. This is okay. So on the left, that's Moni, and then on the right, that's Alice, and them together have an event company in Kansas City. And so I was one of their many events that they put on, was my solo exhibition.
Wow, is that the one? Queen? Was that Queen?
Queen?
Oh, what was the I'm trying to think. Wasn't there a production or something that you did?
Queen. Oh, are you talking about so Queen is
the one act play, Queen?
Yes, Queen is a one act play that I wrote in Italy.
Oh, okay.
So that is the solo exhibition was for my art. That happened.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about two different things here. So your art exhibition was put on here with them, and they hosted the event.
Yes,
they look like they could. Is that your art back there?
Yes.
Okay. Look at you.
Yes.
Okay. What is this? Some more friends?
And from that event.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm finding all the pictures from that event. Let's see.
Yes, that is my counselor, Travis.
Your counselor?
You gotta have one.
Okay. Well, talk to us about the counselor.
Counselor Travis. So he is somebody that I ran into because of a friend of mine, and he's the one who, he's been in the business for about 15 years, marriage and family counseling and things like that. And we met, and he also does Bible studies. And so I ended up going to the Bible studies and, kind of found my way back to God in an interesting way. So that's kind of, where we and we've been going strong ever since. So a lot of the opportunities that he has, he'll pass on to me. A lot of things that I know, I'll pass on to him. And, I truly believe in his gift. He is an incredible, incredible counselor.
Well, truly. What this does for me is it makes me remember every time I say this, it just further confirms it depending upon that guest. It's a quote about flowers. Flowers don't compete with other flowers. They just let them all bloom. It's like bloom, baby.
Yeah.
Bloom,
yes.
bloom. And that's what your friends are doing, and you're doing that with them. You're allowing them to bloom in their own areas of expertise. So I'm so glad that y'all are blooming as beautiful flowers. Okay, I saw this picture, and I noticed some two special people.
Yes. So this is actually what you're looking at is 3 generations of, or 2 generations of women.
The background is a third one back.
three generations of women, but I it's really small on my screen. I thought immediately that was my mother when she had her first natural hair.
Oh, these are your two grandmothers.
But exactly. So we're looking at just the two women. Okay, so the two women in the front, the first woman is my great grandmother, Gloria. And behind her is her daughter, my grandmother, Tonya. And Tonya is the poet, the actress that I was talking to you
Wow.
about.
And look how great they look. They are.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God. And then in the very, very, very back there drinking some water or something is the mom. I think that's your mom back there.
Yeah, I thought so. Yes. So you are looking at 3 generations of women. Yes.
Right. Even though I'm sure your mom didn't intend for her to be in the background right now when she sent me this picture and us talking about. Okay.
But no, it's cool because there's a line of them. I've never seen that picture before. Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah. Your mom sent it to me. Thanks to Summer Smith. Okay. Let's look at this picture.
So this is my uncle and my grandfather. My grandfather's one in the bow tie. Wow. And this is the gentleman that I was talking to you about that took me to the library that one time and exposed me and exposed me to all different kinds of art and artists.
And he looks artsy. He looked like Samuel L. Jackson there. He does. Got a whole line of folk that could be just acting and doing some step-in roles.
It's true. He did some acting too. Yeah, he did.
Okay, let's see. I see some more family pictures here.
This is the 85th birthday of my great grandmother, the one that you saw, the light skinned woman in the first picture. This is her 85. Sitting there. Mm-hmm. And this is my immediate family. The only person who seems to be missing is my aunt Autumn. But you see my mother Summer, my stepfather Brian, my uncle Sylvester, who is named Sylvester, Grandma Gloria in the chair, and then Tonya, and then me.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, that's a picture of me when I was speaking there, and we were praying for some of the graduates. Your mom and your stepdad were graduating from, and that's you right there too. They were graduating from the Black Mastermind group in Kansas City, Kansas. That's where I was the keynote speaker for that event, and they did a phenomenal job in their graduation.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And Dr. Danetta Watson is incredible leader that spearheaded this initiative of the Black Mastermind Group. So if you're not familiar with the Black Mastermind Group, make sure you join it no matter where you are, okay? Let's see, I saw a picture of your mom and your dad.
Yes. This is back when I got to tell you about my New York time, but this is back when I was in New York and I had rougher hair then, and I was wearing all black because I thought of myself as something, and this is I got it. It's a story that I just have to tell.
Go. We have a whole hour here. Tell the story, and we're coming to the comments next. After we finish these pictures, all of the comments will be addressed. So keep them coming. Go.
So I went to New York after I came back from college. I toured around a little bit of the world, and then I came back. And I moved to New York on a whim because I had a mentor that was like, hey, I have a project, and it's a small project, but maybe you can move up, that sort of thing. So I moved up, no money, and I ended up couch hopping for about 8 months.
Okay.
And I do mean one day here in Inwood, 3 nights there in Brooklyn, 4 nights in Crown Heights, 1 night down in the Village. And that's kind of how the life I lived. And what I did also was I took the clothes that I had, and after meeting someone like Moses Sumney and things like that, and he wore all black, and I thought, oh, how chic. So what I did was I went to the store, traded all my clothes that I had in my mother's suitcase, and I bought all black clothes. And the great thing about wearing all black clothes when you don't have a home is that no one can tell how many times you've worn it.
Right.
You always look chic and always look put together. When you're sitting on the train at 3 o'clock in the morning, headed to someone else's house, someone might, especially if you wear sunglasses, someone might think that you're headed to the airport. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or to and from.
I never thought of any of that. No.
Well, these are things you got to think about whenever you're couch hopping in New York. And so that's kind of the life that I lived. And I got this opportunity to do costumes for an immersive production. It's a musical that took place at an actual dive bar. And so I did the costumes for it. And I told my dad and my mom that I'm doing the costumes for this play in New York. Now, is this Broadway? No. Is this off Broadway? No. Is this off Broadway or off Broadway? No. This is a play that took place in a dive bar in Brooklyn.
Okay.
They said, we're coming to New York. You're doing something in New York. We're coming to New York. And I just was like, there's no reason to come. There's just no reason to come. But they came, they had the dinner theater, they had the dinner, and we took a picture, and they loved it, and it was a great show.
And this
And
is the
yeah,
picture.
and that's the picture.
And your mom and dad came and supported you.
Yes.
And you're like, there's no reason to come. They're like, there's plenty of reason to come.
Yes.
Keyon Monté is there.
Yes,
So if
absolutely.
nobody else is there, our baby's there. And we're
correct.
coming. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
And they look like proud parents.
Oh, yeah. They've always been that way. Yeah.
And then I saw this picture too. This was at their graduation, your mom and stepdad's graduation. And who are these other two individuals standing beside you with you?
Those are the niece and nephew of my stepdad.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. So those were some of the family pictures that I had. I just want to take a moment to start flooding the comments.
Yeah. Can I say, you'll have to tell me what they're saying because I can't see. So
we're going to pop them on. You're going to see them. We're going to pop them on the screen.
Cool.
Okay, so come on, pop them up. Let's see. Finally, a guy guest. We never have guy guests. That's what somebody said. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Feel free, any males. We would love to welcome you to the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's see. He seems like a lovely guest, Kim. Good job. Thank you, Mackenzie. She works backstage. Kim, you look lovely this morning. Do I, girl?
You do. Okay. You do. And I like how the glasses match the red chair.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do need to stand up for 1 second because these pants, my bestie gave them to me. And I was going to put a post up later. I'm going to put a post up later. But look, these pants right here. Can you see them?
Oh, yes, with the thing down the
yes, you can't tell me. You can't tell me nothing, y'all. I mean, the pants are cute. And then they got like a little split, like a little
yes.
I feel like I'm in Hollywood messing with these
That's
pants.
extra movement. I love extra movement, you know?
Okay, Kim, you look lovely. Thank you. Summer is your mommy. She said, hey,
yes.
Kim and Keyon.
Hello.
Hey, Kim and little cousin Keyon, Mia said.
Yes.
Let's see.
Hi.
Shireen says,
Keyon thinks knew the entire life. It's true.
Keyon thinks that when it started for him, but he really...
No. She's saying Keyon thinks that's when it started for him. But we as a family, so you got to read it in her voice, yes. But we as a family knew his entire life. He thinks that's when it started. But
you're so my gosh,
no.
I cannot imagine you being in my family right now. You're in my family technically. So in the family, what your person is saying, what Cherie is saying, it didn't start when he thinks it started. It been started. We as a whole family been watching him be dramatic and acting his whole life. That's what she's saying. Woo!
Yes.
Brian, your stepdad said, great interview, Key.
Thank you.
Mackenzie said, Keyon, you got a special lady in your life. They want to know.
No, I do not have a special lady in my life. My mother, Moni, my grandmothers, people in my community.
Lots of special people in his life.
Lots of special
and
ladies.
Females that love Keyon. I can tell you that for sure. All right,
Dame Shirley Bassey, Eartha Kitt. She's a special lady in my life.
I love you. You'd be a great actor. Everybody feels that way.
Thank you.
Keyon has been acting since he was 2. Mia said.
It's true.
I love your family. Summer said lots of hearts because we asked if you would be a great actor. And people said yes. Lots of hearts came in. 3
Hollywood for sure.
Hollywood for sure. Bobby, he's been acting his baby. Mm-hmm. He's been acting his whole life. That's what Shiree said. That's how Shiree said. Mm-hmm. Is that how she said?
She said, baby. Yes.
Baby.
Shiree. Yes.
Great following you. Oh, great following you live all the way from Kibera, Nairobi, Kenya. Samuel, thank you for being here. Speaking of which, the Kim Jacobs Show streams in 100 countries. So we're not just saying that. We literally stream in 100 countries, 350 million households. And we are now on Roku. Just for everybody that would like to know that, all you have to do is download the CTR Media app on your Roku, and you'll see the interviews that are happening right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. We were just ranked #1 this past month as in the self-improvement channel. So make sure you subscribe to CTR Media Network. Select the Kim Jacobs Show on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android, all of that, and you're going to be able to see the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you so much, Samuel. Brittany, hey, Kim and Keyon.
Hello.
Somebody said, Lady Justine said he is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see. Any other comments? Okay, lots of comments, you guys. And I see over here on Instagram, Lady J, Malaysia, Namaste, Mela, I see you all. I see you. Henry, Elder Henry, I see you. I see you. Y'all put some comments and we'll pull your comments right up as well. Yolanda, glad you are watching. And all of you all that are tuning in. Okay, let's go back to some more questions here. Your portrait series usually seems like it infuses your storytelling to uplift the Black community in particular, and it's been really widely recognized. What inspired this particular style of projects, and what is your hope and inspiration for it? I'm going to put some of them up, but talk to us about that too.
Well, it's interesting. As I do different things, they really come from different eras of my life. And there's eras of my life in which I feel I'm more of a visual artist rather than a writer, and vice versa, right? And as I'm working on another art, there's something in me that keeps calling to say, look, I haven't painted something in a while. God, please give me something, right? And something will happen, an idea will come and something will happen. In 2020, during the Black Lives Matter movement, right? We were all home, it was COVID. And I decided I wanted to do free portraits for Black people. And so it was mostly centered around the people that were on my Instagram. And so I did black and white portraits of them. And what I did was I asked the question to the first person. And then once they answered, I took their paragraph and posted it with the portrait. And then I told them, I said, okay, now you come up with a question. And they came up with a question. And I sent that question to the next person that I did a portrait for. And the next person I did it. And so it became a chain of conversation. Nice. Even though these Black people never maybe knew each other or talked to each other before, they knew they had a question and they answered the question. So that's kind of the start of how I started doing series. And it has been community-based ever since. I'm a digital artist, usually. That's kind of how I work because, COVID and things like that. So working with people is a great way to usurp the full digital aspect of things. So all of the people that you see me draw are people that I know in real life, people that I've asked to pose for me, things like that. So, yeah.
Good. So this art piece here, tell us about it.
Yes. So this is a part of the Jangaroo series. The Jangaroo series is an endemic view of Black masculinity. The idea is what happened if we never fell from the garden, right? And so there are Black men in, sometimes I will have them pictured with, this one's pictured with a monkey. Sometimes I have them pictured with like different, animals. So there's one that's he's pictured with a tiger. There's one where he's, pictured with a bird, things like that. And the idea was beauty and also making a comment on the harshness of masculinity, but removing the violence, removing all of the things that we attribute to Black masculinity.
Well, that you know what, I'm glad you said that because I'm a pastor, right? So I just recently became a new pastor, and I really believe that God is God, and that it's important for us to show love to everyone, and to not be so cruel and critical of everybody. But I do feel also that the word of God is the word of God. So someone had asked me one time, well, what would you say about this topic? Well, if you come on that Sunday and it's in the word, I'm going to talk about whatever the word says about it. But keep in mind that if you come on a Sunday that we're talking about adultery or we're talking about fornication or other things, then I'm talking about that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. The word of God is saying, period.
Correct.
At the end of the day. But I do believe that God loves, we are supposed to be an example of God's love and mercy, so that through the loving kindness, we're able to draw other people to Christ. How can people ever want to be a part of what we say is like a city sitting up on the hill, and I want to know about the God that you serve, if I'm so ignorant and rude to people that I meet and encounter. Anyway, I don't went all off. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
let me just stay focused, right?
No, it's important. It's important to have that stance. It's not about and I'm Bible believing myself. It's not a lot of the times it becomes about your personal vendettas against or biases of, and not necessarily of the word. And that's when things can get incredibly
Murky
detrimental.
and messy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, so now with you, you believe in, you have a faith that you formally practice. This is my faith. This is what I believe.
Yeah.
How has
Yeah.
that helped with, because you just talked about Adam and Eve and the fall and you have the monkey on the shoulder and everything like that. How has that helped with your storytelling and your art?
Well, one of the main things it's done is hit me to kind of how we are designed. That the big thing that's come out of it is God designed the world. He put things in place like gears that turn. And we are designed a certain way, and we can't get away from the way that we're designed, right? If you think of human beings kind of like a car or a machine, there are things that we need in order to survive. If you put um, uh, uh, the wrong kind of, I don't drive, but if you put the wrong kind of gas in your car, it's going to
Right.
malfunction, right?
Absolutely.
That is how we are designed. We are designed to receive love. We are designed to give love. We're designed to worship something greater than ourselves.
Absolutely.
These are things that God has instilled in our very being. And you can't get away from it, no matter who you are, what you believe. They're just things that you can't get away from. So understanding the way human beings work, it helps me understand who I am,
Yes.
how I am designed, how I work. And then also it helps me in storytelling, because if I understand where that character is coming from, everyone has the same problem.
Right.
It all comes down to a deficit of love. That's where all of the issues boil down to. So once I understood that is when a different kind of art, writing, and things kind of opened up for me.
You were free to be you and to literally just express whatever God is putting in your heart and do that through the art form. I love it.
I have to say also that there was the moment in time where, and it's a small story I have to tell, that I was really interested in getting a Tony Award, right? And I still am. I
don't think that that's too far-fetched from that happening in your life. Hopefully this interview will you can bite-sized piece it and send it to Tyler Perry, to all of I keep saying Tyler Perry, but to any of these different places. Disney, imagine Disney experiencing Keyon Monté. Disney, you are missing out if you are not having Keyon Monté as one of your performers, even the artists on your Disney work. Come on. Go.
Thank you. The Tony Award I was really interested in, and I was getting to a point where I might be in line for it, in the sense of there was a director that I knew that was putting a play on Broadway. And so I asked that director, I said, hey, look, if you need help, I would love to do the costumes, and they ended up going with someone else towards the end. But I saw it. I saw it in my mind, because I knew that play had an opportunity for costumes, but no other play on Broadway at the time, right? They did Macbeth, but they did it in modern dress. And they did this play, but it was in modern dress. This play had an opportunity to really, be imaginative. So I just knew that if I did that play, I'd be nominated and I could win. Right. It just so happened that year, some other play came in and opened just before the Tony Award eligibility cutoff, and it was really imaginative. It took all the awards. But as I said, the person who did end up designing the costumes for that play was nominated for the Tony. So there I was, Tony nomination lists, right? And I said to myself, and I got into like a big depression and things like that, and I was walking in faith and things like that at that time as well. So I walked out into my balcony and I said, God, you can have the awards, the Oscars, the Tonys, the fame, and the fortune. Just make me a great artist. And that is a prayer that begot the play that I'm writing now. And maybe a month or so later, that's when the play kind of started to come. And so, and that's also when I started painting in the way that I do, and lots of other things happen. And and I got to be honest with you. Some people say that, and it sounds really inspiring, and I think it should be in some instances. But I
Yeah.
also have to tell you, be incredibly careful about what you pray for, because God may laugh and joke, but he don't play. He's very, very serious about prayer.
Yeah.
And so I understood, quite quickly that, that praying that in earnest also might, it just puts me on a path that I didn't think that I would be ever on. And being a great artist doesn't mean that things are easy.
That's right. It sounds like they're not.
Yes, exactly. Becoming a great artist means shedding, and it means, going to, it's not always the most fun. But I realize in that, I mean, I've got candy and sugar plums all around me at every given moment of every given day. It comes with so many blessings as well.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it's heaven on earth, in my opinion, based on what I'm hearing. But then I also know that there are significant challenges, especially being an African American, a Black artist in the industry. What are some of the things that you've had to even overcome as a Black man in this industry?
Well, a lot of it is pigeonholing. A lot of it is the questions that I think any artist worth his salt will get this question. Male or female, no matter what sexual orientation you are, you might get this question. That is, are you creating for white people? Or did you write this for white people? That's the question that you'll get. And it is such an unfair, very lazy question. No, I'm not writing for white people. As James Baldwin says, I'm writing for people, baby. That's what he says. And I agree.
People,
yes,
all people.
I'm writing for people, baby. And I'm writing for myself at the end of the day. And so, it really, that's one of the things I think that, what my boss, so I work with an amazing costume designer right now. His name is Paul Tazwell. Paul Tazwell just won the Academy Award for Best Costume Design.
Okay.
And he won the Oscar for Wicked. I don't know if are you familiar with that movie that came out?
Yes.
Wicked? Yes. He did the costumes for Wicked, and he just won the Oscar. And he also designed the costumes for Hamilton on Broadway as well.
Okay.
And he is the first Black man to win an Academy Award for Best Costume Design. And so learning under him has been a joy of my life, truly, because no matter what I have faced in the industry, which has been very, very, very interesting things here and there.
Right.
It doesn't compare to the things that he had faced growing up in the industry in the 90s, coming up in the 2000s, and now in the zenith of his career, the pinnacle of his career, which is now, doing Hamilton, doing Wicked, winning a Tony, an Emmy, and an Oscar, not within 5 years of each other. And one of the things, you're interested in business. And I want to tell you too, that for me, watching him handle business is the thing that I understand I need to know and get better at.
One of the things again?
Paul Tazwell. Tazwell, Tazewell. And I illustrate for Paul Tazwell right now. And he is he's a very quiet man. He's a very kind, very humble man. And one of the things that I am going to learn from him, I believe, as I work with him more, is his ability to edit and delegate more than being a good costume designer, right? The thing that really sticks with me about the way he does his business is how attentive he is, and how much of a great leader he is.
Wow.
Take the costume things away.
Yes.
What makes Paul Tazwell is his ability to lead in such a beautiful way. I am in Kansas City, Missouri. I am drawing as an illustrator on one project of 5 projects that he's doing. right? Not only is he keeping character names in his head and how many dresses she wears throughout the piece, but I am doing one thing here, one thing there. These costume designs that I do, these renderings that go back to him, and it goes to someone who is sitting there for 8 hours and she's doing the beading on the sleeve, right? Someone is cutting that. Yes, that's him with his Oscar just recently. And someone is cutting the fabric, someone is pleating the fabric, someone else is going over here and doing the shoes, and someone's doing fittings. There's actors, there's directors, there's producers on every single one of these projects. Every time he comes into my phone and asks me for anything, it's always, "Hey, Keyon, how are you doing? I hope you're well. I have a project for you." Every time I give him something, he says, even if he has critiques, he always starts with, "Keyon, this is looking great. I love this. I love this. I love this. I wonder if." Now, if I'm someone who's in Kansas City doing one project for him, I can't, when he, I'll give you one more thing. When he won his Oscar, I was very nervous because I understood that if he's the first Black man to win the Oscar for this, Oprah Winfrey would be, messaging him. You know what I mean? He'd be getting flowers from Beyonce. He got Good Morning America. He's speaking on Good Morning America the next day. Everyone and his mothers are talking to him. All right. I was like, oh, I shouldn't say anything. I finally did text him, and I just told him, how much I appreciated this win and how much I understood it. He's endured and things like that. And he sent me the most wonderful thing back. So what I'm trying to learn is how to, at this level, make sure that my hands are touching everyone and diligent with my responses, diligent and quick with my response. You know what I mean? Those things I have to learn. It's not something that you something you have to pick up, and the skill you have to pick up, and I have to pick it up.
Well, you are picking it up well, and I see some more of your art pieces here. Do you want to tell us about this one?
This is I wanted to do, as part of that Jangaroo series, I have some in the jungle, I wanted to do one that was in water, because water is one of my favorite elements. And so I had a friend of mine, his name is Dion, he's a wonderful actor, and he went to the jungle out in South America, and he took pictures of himself, and I was like, well, do you think that I could, you could pose down there for me in some way or shape, or, that way I can paint it? And he was like, absolutely. And he had like a camera that could go underwater, and he took this picture of himself, and I painted from the pictures that he took. He took a video of himself, swimming in the water. And so this is the painting that I did of him swimming in the water with the fish.
Okay, so I'm about to send you a photo of something. I'm like, I don't know what to say. This is awesome. Listen, what do you share with aspiring artists? Tell us about this one too. An aspiring artist that they know that they're passionate about a variety of areas. How do you encourage aspiring artists to use their true gifts and talents too?
Okay, first I will say this is the centerpiece of that series, Jangaroo. This is called Jangaroo. This is the first one that I did, and it's a picture of him. And what I did was he was leaning on a rail, and then I found a picture of a tiger, and I was like, oh, what if these two could go together? So I painted them together. So this wasn't how it was. He was actually hanging on a rail when he sent me the picture. This is a guy by the name of Smooth. He goes by Smooth. And this is another idea of just Adam, in the garden, but making it modern.
I am loving your pieces. So what advice do you give aspiring artists? Because people need encouragement.
Aspiring artists. Well, firstly, I will say it's difficult to get out of your own head about things. The biggest thing that you're going to have to try and figure out is you. Trying to get out of your own head about it is the biggest thing, because once you get over that, then it just becomes about the doing. The doing comes naturally. The doing just comes naturally. So if you can just get to the doing, you'll be fine.
Wow.
It's the thing. It's the stuff that happens before the start. That whole I can't, or I need to, or what if, oh, me saying, but I can't be a good actor, all of that comes right before the doing.
Okay. And oh my gosh, that if you cannot grab hold, as my grandma would say, to that advice, get out of your own head, get out of your own way, just get to doing it, do it. It'll make a difference in how free flowing you are with whatever gift God gave you. If you could collaborate with any artist, whether it's living or past or whatever, who would it be?
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, he's on my mind this morning. So Stephen Sondheim. If I could somehow have directed or acted in or costume designed a production of an original production of Stephen Sondheim's, he is a genius. He was a genius. He passed away, but he's the greatest musical theater composer who's ever lived.
That's what I was
Yes,
wondering. I saw
yes,
a whole
yes,
composer back here. I was like, well, he's not an artist, but I'm not sure. But the art comes in different forms. So I was looking
yes,
it up and I was like, oh, is this right? Is this the right person? I'm forever,
yes.
time you say something, I'm forever over here like, blah,
Oh,
blah, blah.
oh yeah, he's great. If I could choose someone that's alive, it would probably be, oh geez, wow, who would I want to collaborate with that's alive? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. You know what? You've said so much on this show that's for people to think about. And I know I mentioned Queen, your one act play.
Hmm.
Is there anything you want
Hmm.
to say about that before we get ready to go to? I want to make sure I give you a chance. And let me pull this up. Is this the gentleman?
Yes,
Okay.
that is the great Stephen Sondheim. If you don't know who he is, he's an amazing wordplay artist. He's just fantastic.
Oh,
So yes, the one act play Queen is actually not the play that I'd like to talk about,
oh,
if you will. The
girl,
play
you
that
can
I'd
talk
like to
about both. Talk about
the
whatever you want to talk
the
about.
yes, the play that I'd like to talk about. So that play I wrote like maybe 6-7 years ago in
Oh,
Italy.
well, like, yeah,
Um,
it's just a play in Italy, just like blah, yeah, right? It's like, what? That was epic. Go ahead.
the play that I'm writing now is called In Heaven,
In
and the in actually stands for the in word. And so it is based on a photograph that I found that was taken in 1943 of a gentleman named Edward Atkinson, by Carl Van Vechten, and that photograph is the photograph that I decided I wanted to turn into a play. The story of how that photograph came to be. So it's really a play about three gentlemen who were in 1943 Harlem. So think Harlem Renaissance, just after it. And it's a play that I've been writing for the past 3 years, and it's a play that we've been workshopping in New York
what
for
is
the
it called
past
again?
two.
What is the picture based on?
It's based on a picture. If you go to my if you go to my how do I find it? If you go to my profile and you go down,
On
you'll find
Instagram?
on Instagram, you'll find it. Oh, how can I send this to you? How can I send it to you? Here, I can just show you. I can just show the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, you can share your screen. I'm like, huh? I'm good, but I don't know. I'm trying.
No, it's absolutely good. But this photograph is kind of, when I first saw it, it haunted me. You know Carl Van Vechten's work. Carl Van Vechten, he was a guy who lived in the Harlem Renaissance, and he was a white guy actually, and he is the one who photographed. If you look up something like Harlem in color, right? Harlem Renaissance in color, you'll find James Baldwin, Harry Belafonte, Eartha Kitt, Jeffrey Holder, Amiri Baraka, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, these very full
Yes,
in
yes.
color pictures.
I
And
see all of these pictures. So now what picture is the
right,
one that I'm trying to see which
the
one is the
one
one?
that I am basing my play on, I guess I can just uh, drop this, I could just text this to you or something.
Oh yeah, text it to me. That's perfect. And I'll pull it up
Okay.
because I want to pull that particular. I see a lot of pictures, obviously, in his art gallery in Harlem here, but Harlem in color.
Yes. So that is oh geez, did I go away?
Oh no, I don't know. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. Anyway, we're still talking with Keyon. He's just going to get that photo that will actually be the photo that he's basing his new play on in Harlem. And somebody said Carmela said, I didn't start watching until 10:45 their time. So she done missed half of it. So she's like, Lord, I got to go back and watch the replay. Carmelita, go watch the replay. You're going to enjoy it. Keyon, let me know when you send me that text. Oh, I see it. Okay. And then Summer said that she is enjoying this episode. Let me get this photo over to myself. You can do a whole lot of stuff. That's speaking of which, y'all, when you are in the process, somebody said it's in New York time for me to go home and I check it out. Where is your art gallery? They want to know where your art gallery is. Let me pull you back in, Keyon. I'm pulling you in now. Okay. Once you get your screen back on, and give me a thumbs up and I'll pull you back in. All right. Where's your art gallery?
So I've got a couple. I've got one that is at the Zobe Art Center. That's in 18th and it's around 18th and Vine. Zobe Art Center, ZHOUB, the letter B, Art Center. And I've got a self-portrait that's there. It's my self-portrait that I have, and I'm holding a cactus. This self-portrait I turned into a tapestry, and I've hand beaded it. So it's sparkly. You can't miss it. Go into the gallery. You'll see it, boom, right when you walk in. There's one. Two, if you are familiar with the Kansas City staple, the Urban Cafe, Black-owned, wonderful gourmet food there. It's right on Troost. It's the only place on Troost that you can get a truffle omelet.
Oh, well, I've never even heard of a truffle omelet. I did not know that.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh,
so when
it's
I come
amazing.
there, I'm going to have to experience that.
Oh, you have to. Oh, it's great. And when you walk in there as well, Jangaroo, the picture that you saw with the guy on the tiger, that's also turned into a tapestry and hand beaded with black beads, bugle beads, and rhinestones and things like that. You'll see it when you walk in. So I have two big pieces that are in Kansas City right now.
Wow.
If you want to see my work, what you should do is go to my website, KeyonMonté.com. Keyon, KeyonMonte.com, or Instagram, where you'll find me at Keyon Monté, and all of my art, everything about my writing, everything about my costume design are all there.
Yes. So y'all make sure, I did find the picture. So thank you so much for sending me that. Go to KeyonMonté.com, KeyonMonté.com. Keyon Monté, that's KeyonMonte for those that are iHeart listeners over on the audio podcast and SoundCloud. Kim, company trip to the art galleries. Yes. Mackenzie always, she working backstage.
Yes.
Road trip.
Yes.
Yes. And let's see, I did find this picture. Thank you so much for sending it. Now tell us.
This is the picture that stopped me in my tracks. I had known as Carl Van Vechten's work, but I didn't know who this gentleman was, and I didn't know, why it was in black and white, and the look in his eyes. And so I found out doing research that this is a picture that was taken as a memento of this clandestine affair between him and this poet named County Cullen, who was in Harlem. And so I was like, okay. And then I found out his name was Edward Atkinson. I found out that he was drafted into World War II. And I said, okay. So this picture's taken before he goes off to war. All right. There's a play there. There's a story there. So you've got the County Cullen, the poet, think Langston Hughes, but not as popular over time, right? And then you think Edward Atkinson, this actor guy who we don't know, who's in this picture dressed as Saint Martin de Porres, which was this 16th century friar. Why is he dressed up as Saint Martin? What was the relationship between this Catholic saint, this Black Catholic saint, to their relationship? What was this? And then you've got this white guy interested in Black, art in Harlem, taking this photograph. These three gentlemen, what were they doing there? Why were they there? Right. What is this life about? And that has sparked this play called In Heaven.
Yeah, that sounds like a great book too, by the way.
Yes, and the title people always ask, people, it gets a lot of it's provocative, sure, but it gets a lot of interest. The title, the reason why it's called Inward Heaven, is because Edward Atkinson is a actor, and inward heaven usually was a Black term used to describe the balcony in which Black people had to sit in theaters.
Yes.
They called it that because it was a high, look. And of course, Harlem was also named that as well, because it said high on the Manhattan Isle, and that's where the Black people were. And so that is a title that I took from Carl Van Vechten's book that he wrote. And I took it and I'm reclaiming it to mean different things now in this context.
You are a genius beyond your years, just to say the least. I could go on and on and on. I do need to invite you all to partner with the Kim Jacobs Show. The way that we're able to bring these brilliant guests on Monday through Friday, we're on just as much as all of these other daytime talk shows that you currently tune into. The only difference is all production is paid by these talk shows that are out there. The only way our production is paid is through community contributions, through your community contributions. Will you take a moment today? Oh, let me not do it myself. Shoot, you the dramatic one. Get the people to send some money to the Kim Jacobs Show. Come on, Keyon.
It's all about community. And if you give, you are helping yourself. So why not give to this? Because this is something that also it will enrich as well as entertain.
Oh, I think people are going to give just because you said that. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. What is one thing you want people to know about you that maybe they just didn't know about you? And then we're going to close out. I saw more comments, but we have to end this show.
I don't know. That my favorite color is mustard.
Oh, your favorite color is mustard. Okay. Yeah. Lady Justine Hillier said, great show, Kim Jacobs. Thanks, Keyon.
Thank you.
When is the next reading in New York? Someone wanted, your mom. She's like, I want to be there. When is the next reading?
June.
Okay. So if people visit KeyonMonté.com, will they learn where they can connect and come see it?
Yes.
All right, good. Hey, Jenny Dewberry. Speaking of branding, if you ever need a branding expert, Keyon, somebody that knows exactly what she's doing. Her name is
Jenny Dewberry.
I'm going to connect.
I'm going to need that.
I'm going to connect via text when we get off. I'll just connect the two of you, say you two are connected. Jenny knows her stuff about some branding and knows how to take it to a whole different level. So I'll connect the two of you. Okay, gorgeous pictures. Your mom said pictures don't do them justice. You have to see them. And so anybody that want to take a road trip or at least meet me in Kansas City, Missouri to see all of these pieces somewhere, put it in the comments section. Kim, let us know when you're going. Let's make a road trip of it. Let's make a community event. Jenny says she's excited about connecting with you. Guys, okay. I hope I didn't leave the Instagram. Joy, Mon, Wangam, Namaste, Malaysia, Lady J, all of you guys, even on Instagram over there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Keyon, for being my phenomenal guest today.
Thank you for having me. This was a wonderful way to start my morning.
I'm so glad. And thank you over there, Mom, Dad, and Stepdad, for producing such a beautiful soul, Keyon Monté. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, support the Kim Jacobs Show, please. And we'll see you again Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Love you, Keyon. I enjoyed this. I'll see you backstage. Everybody have a great day. Thank you, Mackenzie, for working backstage. Love you all. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.